Hello, and welcome to the Lease Option Mini Course Part 1. Now, what is a lease option? Well, it's a contract to lease a property for a specified time frame with the option to purchase it by a specific date at a predetermined price. Question is, have you ever leased a car? Well, if you have, then you already know what a lease option is. When you lease a car, you do so with the option to buy it at the end of the lease period or give it back if you don't want to buy it. And then you go out and you buy or lease another car. Well, all you have to do is substitute house for car and you got the idea. You've probably heard it referred to as rent to own. You lease the property for a period of time and then have the option to purchase it. It's not a very complicated thing. Now, when working with lease options, there's no cash or credit needed. You control properties for $10 to $100. It's called control without ownership. There's no house fixing. You deal in pretty houses that need no repairs. There's no sweat equity or contractors involved. There's no debt, no personally guaranteeing loans, no banks, hard money, or private money needed. And there is less competition. You'll find that most investors out there are looking for cheap properties to flip or fix and flip, and lease options allow you to work with nice houses in nice areas that most all investors walk right by. Now, why do lease options work? Well, lease options work because there's a huge market for them that's growing every day. This market is made up of buyers who have some sort of problem that will not allow them to qualify for a mortgage. Problem could be bad credit or even a lack of the full down payment. A lease option affords these people the opportunity to purchase a home that they otherwise couldn't get. Now, on the other side of the coin, a lease option helps a homeowner to sell a home that for whatever reason, job transfer, divorce, retirement, even the location of the house, couldn't get sold quickly enough or in a conventional manner. The one common thread that exists for sellers that will lease option their home is debt relief. These sellers generally need to get out from under mortgage payments, and they're very happy to have someone take over those payments. Let's talk about the type of lease options. The first type of lease option is a sandwich lease option. The reason it's called a sandwich lease option is because you stay in the deal from beginning to end. Thus, you're sandwiched between the seller and the tenant buyer. You're in control of the property until the tenant buyer cashes the seller out. Now, there are 3 paydays to a sandwich lease option. The first payday is the option consideration that the tenant buyer gives you up front. Now, this is a non-refundable option consideration, and it goes right in your pocket. The second payday is the rent spread. And that means the difference between what you collect from the tenant buyer and you owe to the seller each month. And the third payday is the back-end money, which is the cash left over after you've gotten the option consideration. You'll get that back-end money when the tenant buyer cashes out the seller down the road. Now, let's have a look at a sandwich lease option deal that I did, which will give you an idea of the income that they can generate. I found a motivated seller with a property with a market value of $225,000 to $230,000. And because they had bought another house and couldn't afford both mortgages, I was able to put it under contract for $210,000. This was a motivated seller. Now, here's how the deal went. My purchase price was $210,000. Sale price to the tenant buyer was $230,000. And the monthly rental spread was $250. So here's how the deal finally worked out. I got $10,000 in an option consideration up front from the tenant buyer. I made $3,000 in the rent spread over 12 months. Got a $10,000 back end at the settlement. So that brings it to total to $23,000 on a home that I never owned, all in 12 months. Now, the second type of lease option is a wholesale lease option. In this scenario, you're going to put the property under a lease option contract and assign that contract and collect an assignment fee. There's only one payday here, and once you assign the contract, you're out of the deal. Now, a wholesale lease option works very much like a traditional wholesale deal with a few minor differences. And one of the big differences is that you can do these virtually anywhere in the USA right from your desk. Now, here's some numbers here on a deal that I did. The seller wanted $250,000 for the property, and the comps range from $245,000 to $260,000. I put the property under a lease option contract for $245,000 and assigned the contract to a tenant buyer for $257,000, and I took a $7,000 assignment fee. The whole deal took 2 weeks to complete, and the best thing was that the property was 4 hours away in another state, and I never physically saw the house, met the owner, or met the seller. It all happened over the phone and the internet right from my desk. Now that you have an idea of how quickly you can profit using a lease option and what a deal could look like, I want you to make sure to check your email tomorrow for part 2 of the lease option mini course coming your way tomorrow, where I'll show you how to find these deals. Thanks for stopping by. I look forward to talking to you in part 2. Bye-bye for now.